What's going on, guys? This is Coach Carter. Today is Monday, December the 2nd. One more Monday behind us as we get closer to the Christmas holidays. Hope that you had an awesome weekend. And as you can tell, the beer did not survive. But honestly, that was probably my choice. It was just too much. So we made the decision to get rid of that thing. But today I want to talk to you about being careful of your circle. You know, I talk to high school kids all the time, and I talk to teachers all the time, and I talk to our administrative team all the time. And it just seems like kids today are so influenced by the group of people that they hang with. You know, I always tell kids, be very careful in the friends that you choose. A lot of teenagers think, having friends is like change for $1. And I've said this before, you need 100 pennies. But in all reality, you don't need 100 pennies. You only need 4 quarters. But that's a result of the society that we live in and hoping that, putting a picture on social media, and for some reason a child's self-value is based on how many likes they get on a social media post. And the influence of a teenager's peers is so important today, because eventually the people you hang out with, you start talking the same, you start wearing the same clothes, you start rooting for the same teams, you start listening to the same music. And if those people aren't a good influence on you, then eventually they're going to bring you down. And so a way to kind of teach this moment, or to teach this lesson, is I put kids into 2 groups. The first group that I put kids in is that they're an anchor. You know, sometimes if you think about an anchor, and if you've ever had a boat, the job of an anchor is to slow you down. It's to hold you in place. But most importantly, it's to prevent you from moving forward. And some of the kids that you allow into your circle, they're anchors, and they're doing just that. Anchors can come in many different shapes and sizes. I can remember my dad, we used to have a boat. My dad would just make an anchor out of an old coffee can. Some people go out and they buy these big expensive anchors, and they've got little gadgets on them where they actually dig into the ground. And man, those anchors are pretty hard to get up to. And that's the thing that I hope that you understand. In order to remove an anchor, it takes a lot of effort. And so sometimes you need to, as we've talked about, edit your life. And if a person is an anchor and they're dragging you down, they're not just going to go away. It's going to require some effort for you to pull that anchor out of the ground to allow you to move in the direction that's best for you. You don't need 100 pennies. All you need is 4 quarters. Get rid of the anchors. The other type of kid that I would classify is not an anchor, but an airbag. You think about how vehicle safety has evolved over the last 20 years. I know when I was a kid, I don't ever remember sitting in a car seat or wearing a seatbelt. I'm sure I did, but I don't ever remember it. And I certainly never was restricted to sitting in the back seat. You know, the first type of safety mechanism for a car was the seatbelt. But that seatbelt is an active mechanism, which means you have to actually put it on in order to make it work. Well, the second group of people, an airbag, it's a passive device. It works without you having to engage it in any way. All you have to do is to be sitting in that seat, and based on the collision sensors, bang, that airbag comes out when you need it the most to protect you and possibly save your life in case you're ever involved in a head-on collision. An airbag was standard equipment in 1988. Now it's required in almost every possible car that's made, in every car that's made. Now they have front airbags, they have side airbags. Cars today are much safer than they ever were because of the new technology. And you think about that now. You surround yourself with either people who are anchors, who drag you down, or airbags who can save your life. Be careful who you choose to be in your circle. Pick the right people. You know, it's sad, oftentimes student athletes, they don't have the grades and they become nothing more than local legends who never leave town. I see kids all the time get caught up in something, and man, they've got so much more to lose than the other kids in the group, and they just simply make a bad decision. So you got to make a choice. Are you going to hang out with anchors? Or are you going to hang out with airbags? So I hope that one is a good example for you. Certainly understand. Love you guys. Appreciate all the support. Please share this so hopefully we can help someone else. And as always, I love you, and the best is yet to come.